gang, gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family. Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm Meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Hey there, Meteorologist Tuttle with you. It is Monday, about 11:40 or so, about 20 minutes till noon. We're talking about your forecast here for today and how it's going to look for the next several days. So thanks for joining me. Please like and share this video, etc., etc. You know the drill. See you guys out there on YouTube, so welcome. Facebook, I see you out there today. Welcome. All right, I'll put up a few more things here, and I'm going to post my link. So let me do that here as well. It'll be in the comment section. So if you're having, a few hundred of you have signed up this way. Again, if you're having trouble with Facebook notifications, I keep plugging this just because this is new, and I keep having to reach new people. That way they know. Well, I was going to paste it, but my paste didn't work. There it goes. No, it didn't work. All right, well, forget that. I don't know what happened with that deal. All right, well, whatever. We'll move on. So I don't know. My computers didn't want to save it for me. That's okay. All right, let me see. I think everything else is good to go. So let's get on with the show, shall we? All right, first thing to do is to look outside. Boy, it looks dreary, doesn't it? So I hope you like Seattle weather. I hope you like the weather in the Pacific Northwest, because it's going to be kind of a gloomy, dreary, cold, chilly, raw, kind of an off and on wet period coming up for the next couple of days. So we've definitely got some cloud cover socked in, and here at my weather station we're at 49.6 degrees. Boy, that's a lovely deal. The winds aren't that bad though, from the east-northeast, right around 5 miles per hour, so pretty light. We take a look at the radar view here across the state. You can see we already have some light rain out here across the east side of Oklahoma City, out toward Choctaw, McLeod, Meeker, Chandler. This is just kind of developing as we speak. It extends northeastward from there up toward Tulsa, Pryor, Tahlequah, Muskogee, Salisaw, Stillwater, Stigler, Crowder, McAllister, Kiowa, Asher, even a little bit of heavier rain built in with some of that. But this is kind of the general trend that we're going to see here, is just scattered off and on, light to moderate rainfall at times. You see the numbers here on the screen represent temperatures, so we're till the 40s to around 50s across the state, with everybody kind of seeing a northeastward wind. So like I said, it doesn't exactly feel all that great out there, but that's okay. It happens this time of the year, right? Now this morning, we did have another freeze out here in northwest parts of the state, so the Panhandle. We got down into the 20s again this morning. 40s elsewhere over the body of Oklahoma, so not a bad morning. Now we usually do see our freeze, by the way, the first for this time of the year. Average date, if you were to average it out, is pretty much the end of October. And so a lot of areas here in the state are pretty much right on schedule. Usually the southeast along the Red River. And this little hot spot here, for whatever reason, I'm not sure, is probably just terrain related, along with trees and everything else that kind of helps prevent some higher elevation that kind of keeps the freeze off a little bit longer, whereas the rest of us in the valleys and where there's less vegetation, typically freeze hits first, just all things even. Well, I guess I didn't answer my question. So I guess I do know the answer. All right, the winds out there, like I mentioned, are pretty light. We've got a northeast wind for the most part at around, there's 5 to 10 miles per hour. And these are gusts that are pointed here. So there's actually a couple of gusts along the Kansas border. If I had to draw the cold front on here, this is a reinforcing boundary of colder air, by the way. We kind of had a cold front that came in over the weekend, but we're getting a reinforcing surge. So you're not really going to notice it so much. It's kind of an oozing boundary because it's still chilly down here in southeast Oklahoma, don't get me wrong, but that's at least the wind direction that we have out there over the state. If you do look at temperatures, you can see how those are a little milder down south, close to 60 along the Red River, otherwise 40s here across the northern tier of the counties. We'll warm them up a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. So kind of what you see is what you get. It looks like for the rest of the afternoon. Now we take a look at the drought conditions. We're still, most of the state, under at least an abnormally dry to moderate drought across the bulk of Oklahoma. Do have exceptions, severe to extreme, way up here to the Panhandle. That's kind of typical. Same thing for southwest Oklahoma. This little spot up here around Pawnee, Osage County, that's a little unusual to see a little hot spot there, surrounded by otherwise decent rainfall. So we need more rain. So are we going to get it? Let's take a look at the upper levels of the atmosphere. It's a jet stream pattern. It's going to show you the track of upper level disturbances that come our way. And the brighter the colors, the stronger the energy. So I'll put this into motion for you. Watch how everything kind of is mainly anchored across the northeast for right now. But then focus your attention around here, around the Rockies. You saw this color coming in. This is on Tuesday afternoon. So all this little stuff right here, these are all ripples in the atmosphere. Think of like a stream or a creek, right? Just moving along. You can see little ripples and currents in it. That's what the jet stream is. It's a river of air, just like you'd see in a creek. Other there, you have a physical property where you can actually see it, visualize it, touch it. Whereas in the air, the only cues you have to visualize it is cloud cover. You can watch little cloud patterns that'll come in this shape. But other than that, that's what helps to generate lift in the atmosphere that helps produce more clouds and in some cases some rainfall. So this is kind of coming in as we head into our first part of the week. And then we'll see, I'll stop this. Let's see, there's Tuesday evening. We'll go to Tuesday night, Wednesday, keeps on coming. Here's Wednesday afternoon. So there's that last little bit of energy coming through Wednesday evening. So what that will do is take the rain and the cloud cover, should start to shunt it off and push it away from Oklahoma. And then as we head into the latter part for Friday, we end up in a kind of a big ridginess here across the country. So that's where the jet stream pattern does one of these things and comes back down. What's a blocking pattern? So it forces this guy over here of all this energy to ride over the top and then back down here to the northeast, and it shields us from any precipitation or any storm systems for a while. And it usually is quiet weather and cooler weather as a result, which is exactly what we're going to see. So you can actually infer a lot of things from one level chart in the atmosphere, and that's the 500 millibar chart. And if I were to have any chart in the entire world, and that's all I could use to forecast with, I would pick that one. And from that, I can infer a lot of things. May not be 100% accurate, maybe only 75 or 50, but I can infer a lot of things. It's better than flipping a coin. Okay, so let's go on to the rainfall amounts that we talked about here. Matter of fact, let me switch over. I want this model better. Got a little better resolution on it. So like I said, we've already got the light rainfall out there now, right? And so the model's a little slow at picking up on that, but at least they have the idea for the remainder of today. It's kind of, the boundary is kind of like this for at least the first part of this event. So everything from this line into eastern Oklahoma. That means out here in western Oklahoma, northwest, you're not going to see much of anything here for the daylight hours today. And then as we head into this evening and overnight, here's midnight tonight, you can see how the rain kind of stays confined. Remember what was down here? Remember what I showed you at the beginning of this broadcast? This is the frontal zone. So this is orographic isotropic lift here along the frontal boundary, which is generic gliding. So you've got a front. Let me do it this way. Let's just draw here for you. All right, so this is the ground. Okay, that's the ground. And you've got a cold front. And the cold front is shallow, but it looks like this. So this is the cold air coming in this direction. I'm just for illustration purposes. And then on this side, you've got the warm air that comes up over the front. Well, the cold air is dense and shallow, and the warm air likes to rise. It's buoyant. So the warm air rises over that shallow cold air. And then what happens as a result is you start to get cloud cover to form and rainfall to form very near and along the frontal boundary. Now in the wintertime, this can extend much deeper northward, but from this initial starting point right here, it can go many miles. But in this particular case, we're probably talking about 50 to 100 miles for this particular rain band, and that's why you get the rainfall that develops down there along it a little heavier, which means also we're going to get the heavier rainfall totals. All right, so there's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You get the idea. All right, so we head into 7 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. It's still around. The signal's still there. It's not very heavy, keep in mind. So if you have outdoor plans, you can still do it. It's just not ideal. It's kind of just dampy and off on sprinkles and light showers. There's Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4, 5. Now, would you look at this? 7, 8. What do you see up here in the northern part of your map here? See that in Kansas? See what that blue stuff is? That's snow. So that's snowflakes mixing in here to the rainfall Tuesday evening. Big heavy batch of rain moves in through Tuesday night. Now we're into Wednesday, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Here's 5. You still see some light snow signal up here in northwest Oklahoma into Kansas. This little back end wave here, there's Wednesday morning. Here's Wednesday midday, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. There's noon, 1, 2, 3, and the rain's starting to move off at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now remember the upper level disturbance I showed you, how it starts to move out of the state for the afternoon? That takes the rain along with it, and then it's all said and done. We clear out a little bit behind it, which is some good news. So we did talk about some snow. Where is it? Well, right now the models seem to favor west central Kansas and the far northwest Oklahoma. This is where the snowfall will occur. Now, keep in mind, temperature's going to be above freezing. Keyword there, above. So we're looking probably mid 30s, 35, 36 degrees, maybe 34. So it will not stick. If it does, and it'll be the best shot for that will be into Kansas, and it'll only be just for a few minutes, and it'll quickly melt from the ground temperatures. But that is the first sign. Hello, winter is just around the corner. Now, what we'll focus on is the rainfall amounts. Now, because the frontal boundary is kind of down to the south, most of the significant rainfall will be down there around an inch or so in many areas, which is good. Here in Oklahoma City, we were in this half-inch rain, and the models shoved that front down a little bit more. So now it's down into the 3/4 inch rain or 2/4. So in other words, 1/4 of an inch of rain on average. Looks like the one spot it picked was a low area of 1/10 of an inch. And you can see not much happening out here in far western Oklahoma. This patch right here is a little enhancement with that snow. Again, it'll melt, so it'll just be liquid rainfall at that point. Temperatures, as we go through time, like I said, don't expect a whole lot of change today. So we'll go ahead and put this in motion for you. So looking at 50s down south. We do briefly hit the low 50s here in Oklahoma City for this afternoon. There's, of course, our lunchtime temperatures now. So we do creep up a little bit despite the fact that reinforcing cool air is coming in. Now, because of the lack of rainfall and cloud cover, you're going to get a little bit warmer out here in the cooler air, believe it or not. The air is very shallow, not very strong. Of course, you'll warm up nice down here on the other end of the front, low 60s down there in southeast Oklahoma. 7 o'clock, though, we're back down to the 40s. As we head into tonight, we'll go into the morning hours. We're back in the low 40s here across central, pretty much almost all the state, with the exception of the southeast again, where that cold air just still trying to struggle to filter in. 30s out there in the panhandle in northwest Oklahoma. As we head into tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, you can see we don't change much. We stay in the 40s. So Tuesday is looks like probably the worst day unless Wednesday gives it a run for the money. So we'll cool you back down again Tuesday night. Here's go to Wednesday morning right here. So we're back in the low 40s again. Rinse and repeat. 30s up there in the northwest Oklahoma. And then Wednesday afternoon, we're back still into the 40s. But with that rainfall moving out, we might get a few breaks in the clouds. So models do briefly hit close to 50 in some areas. Otherwise, still a pretty chilly day. So your overall forecast here in Oklahoma City for the next several days looks like 40s for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we start to warm up a little bit each day. Actually, the latter part of the weekend, Saturday's not bad, but Sunday's great. From Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, perfect weather. I love this weather this time of the year. It can be a little warmer. I do like the low 70s versus the upper 60s, but it'll do. Overnight lows, though, the coldest of the cold for the nights ahead, Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Saturday morning will be in the 30s. So if you have sensitive plants, you might want to bring them indoors or at least cover them. Otherwise, I think they'll be okay. Now, I'll show you a sneak peek of what's going to happen here long term. And we're talking way long term. All right, so where's all the cold air? That's what you want to know, right? So this is a look at North America. So again, we're down here in Oklahoma. It's a little square right down here. So we're looking at the cold air that circulates up here from the pole, which is right here on the top of your map. And then, of course, this is the Alaska area right here. So we're going to see how this cold air whips around, and then how far south does it come. And you can watch any of these little guys here. So this is a little low. This circle here is a little low. And you'll see these lows will pull down the cold air with it. So if you notice, as air flows counterclockwise around a low, it pulls down the cold air. So look for these passing lows to zip through. And as it does, you're going to watch the cold air come down with it. All right, so let's put this into motion and see what happens. All right, we're just watching it spin around up there. All right, we got that first taste here. There's a little nice touch of blue and green in Kansas and parts of Oklahoma. So that's our first cold front. All right, so that thing moves off. Here comes our secondary wave, kind of hanging around Alaska right now. That's that low spiraling up. Now it starts to come into Western Canada. Now it's ready to zip on down, it looks like. So let's watch a couple more frames. Meanwhile, we warm up a little bit. So there's that brief warm up as I talked about over the Central Plains for the latter part of the weekend and early next week. So that's some good news. We have a little bit of a brief warming trend. And then look at this low starting to come down right here across the northern plains. And that zips that cold air right there through Oklahoma briefly. And then guess what? We warm right back up again. So this is these brief cold shots over and over and over. Let me go to the very last frame again. So there's a stopping frame. We still have more cold air to build. We just have to watch these little transient lows to come on down and bring it here into Oklahoma. So how about that, right? All right, so there's a look at your current forecast here for today, along with the rainfall potential and the cold air, et cetera, et cetera. Hope you guys have a great rest of your lunch hour and a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk again here off and on for the next couple of days since we've got some active weather around the region. And meanwhile, bundle up, stay warm, stay safe, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks for joining me for lunch.